There are lies that sound like lies. And then there are lies that sound like wisdom. The second kind is far more dangerous because nobody questions them. Nobody challenges them. Everybody repeats them. And eventually they become accepted as truth. That's exactly what has happened with a lot of relationship advice given to men. Advice that sounds good. Advice that feels noble. Advice that gets shared thousands of times. But advice that often creates confusion, frustration, and disappointment. One of the most dangerous things a man can do is blindly follow relationship advice without asking a simple question. Does this actually work in real life? Because relationships don't happen in books. They happen between imperfect human beings, and imperfect human beings are complicated. One of the biggest pieces of advice men receive is this. Just be yourself. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Simple, comforting, encouraging. But what does it actually mean? Because if a man is lazy, insecure, emotionally unavailable, and lacks direction, should he simply remain exactly as he is? Of course not. The truth is that attraction isn't built on authenticity alone. It's built on growth. The advice shouldn't be just be yourself. The advice should be become the best version of yourself. There's a huge difference. Another dangerous piece of advice is that love alone is enough. Movies teach it. Songs celebrate it. People repeat it constantly. Love conquers all. Love is everything. Love will find a way. Sounds romantic. Unfortunately, reality is less poetic. Love matters. But love without respect fails. Love without trust fails. Love without communication fails. Love without effort fails. A relationship can have enormous love and still collapse. Because love is the foundation, not the entire building. Then there's the advice many men hear from childhood. Happy wife, happy life. Now, before anyone gets upset, let's examine it honestly. The intention behind the phrase is positive. The problem is how many men interpret it. Many interpret it as ignore your own needs, suppress your own feelings, avoid conflict at all costs, keep her happy no matter what. And that creates unhealthy relationships because healthy relationships require two happy people, not one happy person and one exhausted person. When a man's needs constantly come second, resentment eventually appears. And resentment is relationship poison. Another dangerous belief is that a good man automatically wins. Many men are raised to believe that kindness guarantees success, that if they're respectful, loyal, and hardworking, everything will work out. Life doesn't work that way. Being good is important, but being good is not the same as being attractive. Not the same as being confident, not the same as having boundaries. Many men become frustrated because they confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. They give endlessly, tolerate endlessly, accept disrespect endlessly, and then wonder why they feel invisible. The problem isn't kindness. The problem is the absence of boundaries. A good man without boundaries often becomes a man who gets taken for granted. And perhaps the most dangerous relationship advice of all is this. If you love someone enough, they'll eventually love you back. That belief has broken countless hearts because love cannot be negotiated. You cannot earn attraction through suffering. You cannot convince somebody to value you. You cannot sacrifice your way into being loved. And yet many men spend years trying, years chasing people who have already shown disinterest, years proving their worth, years hoping effort will create feelings. The painful truth, the right relationship doesn't require endless convincing. It requires mutual investment, mutual effort, mutual desire. And when that's missing, no amount of advice can fix it. The healthiest lesson a man can learn is simple. Love matters, but self-respect matters too. Compromise matters, but boundaries matter too. Giving matters, but receiving matters too. Because relationships were never meant to be one person carrying everything. They were meant to be partnerships. And the moment a man understands that, everything changes. He stops chasing validation. He stops trying to earn basic respect. He stops believing every piece of popular advice. And he starts building relationships based on reality rather than fantasy. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's the worst relationship advice you've ever received? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because sometimes the advice that sounds the nicest is the advice that causes the most damage.